You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good team. Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AfterBuzz TV's Abby's Ultimate Dance Competition After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's Abby's Ultimate Dance Competition After Show.
Yay!
Hello, everybody. I hope you had a very happy Thanksgiving. We certainly missed being here. Bing is for doing, and right now we are doing another recap of our favorite dance show on television, Abby's Ultimate Dance Competition, or as we've coined it, Experience.
Yes, because this show is definitely an experience.
An experience,
gentlemen.
exactly. I'm Giselle Ugarte. I'm always live tweeting at Giselle Ugarte. And to my right,
Oh, that would be me. I am Tony Moore.
and to my left,
I'm Cris Cangero. What's up?
Hey guys, Jason J. Carter here.
and we're so happy to be here. We have 2 episodes to recap, so it's going to be a juicy 45 minutes. Hopefully we won't go overtime. But yeah, let's get started with... Oh, and also, if you want to join the conversation, we are in Studio B today. So 424-256-1633 is the magic number. And I also want to give a shout out to some of our super fans who are always tweeting us, leaving comments. Watchtower Base, Perfect Page H, Team Dance Moms 8, and Wanda Steves. You guys watch every single week, and you're part of the reason why we do this and why we're so excited
Thank you,
to
guys.
do this. So thanks for being involved and sharing your opinions. So starting off with episode 7 of the first season of Abby's Ultimate Dance Competition, Happily Never After is the name of the episode, and we'll just kind of breeze through this. Basically, the group dance challenge was about individuality. Interesting.
They're kind of reaching, I think, with these group dance challenges.
Yeah, a little bit, but they're still fun to watch.
Oh, of course. I mean, it's always going to be fun to watch.
Yeah.
Still reaching.
However,
Still reaching.
Abby walks in with a crown. And did you guys guess right away what the theme was going to be for this week when she walked in with the crown?
Well, probably from the title, I was thinking like
That's
fairy
true.
tales and.
That's true. Okay. Well, I love how we have the host calling her the wicked stepmother. Nice. And then
Fitting.
Yvette calls her the wicked witch.
Oh wow.
No one thinks, oh, fairy godmother.
Well, why would they?
Well, I mean,
I mean,
it's Abby.
they're being authentic. They're being original, so we got to give them kudos for that one.
The saying was, when you're at an audition, everyone is given the same steps. It's what you do with them.
That's very true.
That's
though.
very true.
So
Yeah.
You have to individualize, what you're doing. You can only be given something, and you have to take it and make it your own.
But still stay in the parameters of the choreographer. You want to offend the
Yeah.
choreographer.
Of course not.
I mean, you don't want to add a jazz hand when there's one that's supposed to.
I don't want to add 6 more 8 counts that weren't there before.
Oh,
no, some people do though.
I know. I was that guy.
Well, let's start off.
Oh, you were him. You're like, thank you, and you're like spinning on your head
I'm
still.
like, this works better here. Just try this at the audition.
I know it was a double, but I thought it would do a triple.
Okay.
There was just
yes,
enough
there's
time.
stage.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
You're welcome.
So Madison wins, and what
Finally.
she wins is a chance to do a great duet with another advanced dancer, and she's also the lead in an incredible routine. And also something to point out for the competition, did anyone else think that Robin was a little off her rocker?
Well, I've been saying that weekly. I mean, no.
But more than usual.
Last week,
I
you said?
guess. I didn't really. I thought she was just, being business as usual.
She, to me, was just... I felt like she was watching something completely different, or maybe she was drinking something different.
Well, like this week, I felt like she finally was giving really good critiques, and then the other judges are over there laughing at her.
Because
so
I think by this
This
time,
week, yeah.
they're
no
over
one,
her.
no one really gives her a chance. I don't know. I like Robin.
This
so.
week I thought she was better, and yeah, I love Robin as well. I'm a huge fan of Robin, but she would just say things that were completely opposite of the other judges. Richie's rolling her eyes at her, and I mean, it's always been kind of a continuing issue that she keeps on name dropping the Pussycat Dolls. It's like, hold on, it's Abby's ultimate dance competition, not Robin's ultimate dance competition. I think there already was a reality show for the Pussycat Dolls.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Long time ago.
I watched every episode. I wanted to do it.
Do you secretly want to be a Pussycat Doll?
When I was younger, I
You want to be
did.
Scherzinger,
Oh.
Nicole? I think that Robin, out of all the judges, well, there's only 3, but she gives the most, like, because we don't know where she's coming from, so you know it's original.
She's the Paula of the group.
Yeah, she's just giving them. She sees colors. When you dance, I see yellows and
Or the
greens
Britney,
and, you
if you
know.
will.
Yes.
So she's very nurturing. You know, she's probably a really
Paula.
nurturing person. So.
Sometimes she was a little brutal though last week.
Or the week before when she said that, you know, this dancer, she's a better dancer than you.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa.
Yeah, that was random. That was a little
Left
random.
field.
I
Yeah.
guess we can appreciate that she's candid.
Right, and it's good. It's great television.
And it's exciting. You never really know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
It's good when there's another opinion.
Right.
Okay, so let's talk about some of these dance. So we had the group dance. Madison was a lead. And I feel like Abby was watching the whole thing going, why didn't I think of this?
What do you mean? Why did you think of?
Like, I feel like that's the type of routine where she would want all of her Abby Lee Miller dance kids doing it.
Well, you don't know what they're doing this season for
We
competition.
don't, but there is another season, and I have to say, if you haven't seen the new teaser for the new season,
Oh,
you need to check it out.
Amazing.
Maniac.
It's really good.
And even though they been something that's been done, like J-Lo did a whole video on Flashdance.
I feel great.
The way this came across is really well done. The kids looked awesome.
Yeah,
And
they all looked really
even
good.
Abby's face looked amazing. I was like, you better work.
And she's
the
kind of
makeup.
like taking digs at herself. I feel like these days.
Yeah.
Like at the end. She
Yeah.
had like a double head.
But I mean, that's her signature thing. Her little.
I feel like she's embellishing it
true.
even more though. Like she's like, yo, this is me.
But you guys, I
I'm
like Abby.
big.
I like Abby a lot more when she's not trying to be Abby the character. When she's actually like we get to see we peer into the real Abby, you know, where she's giving critiques that are actually heartfelt and matter, and she's not just spewing off things. Just sometimes I feel like she just says things to be hateful a little bit, or to be kind of not hateful, I guess, but to stir the pot. And Abby is much more candid and much more likable and actually relatable. Even though she's being rude, when she's just being her natural self instead of being Abby Lee the character, you know.
Right, when she's trying to rhyme and
Right. And try and rap.
and get reactions from the audience. Well, if you haven't seen it, it's hilarious, and it's a Flashdance parody. They have the Maniac song playing. They refer to
The
Abby as the
tights.
Maniac, and there's a funny little twist at the end with all the dance moms. So make sure you check it out. I know a lot of people that watch this show are carrying over from our Dance Moms after show. We also had Amanda and Madison perform a duet, 2 very advanced dancers. They did a Snow White and Evil Queen contemporary routine. What
Did
do
you
we
say
think?
evil tween?
Maybe.
Well, they could be, right?
Right.
Twins.
They are twins. I mean, they're not over 13.
I don't know if they're evil, but I mean they're
Evil
twins.
Queen. What do we think about this one?
Thought it was good. Who choreographed that one?
I did not write it down.
Ooh.
I think it was
No.
Gina Starbuck though.
Oh, nice.
But it was a contemporary routine. I liked it, but I'm getting really bored with Amanda.
It's week after week. Amanda's body does not connect with her face and her facial expressions.
And her body's amazing.
Yeah,
Her body is
I think she
amazing.
moves well. I think she's a great dancer, but I feel like she's just kind of like, and she's
Yeah.
just moving. You know what I mean?
Very mechanical.
Yeah.
She's not. It's not connected. There's a disconnect somewhere with her, like you said, with her body and her choreography. Because when she's in, I mean when she's dancing, she's a joy to watch. But
Yeah.
the most amazing dancers, the reason why Asia is such a fan favorite is because she may not have the best technique, but she's connected. She's present.
captivating.
Right.
Like,
She's
you
a
can't take
performer.
your eyes
Man.
off her.
Performer.
I'm kind of
Performer.
over her, but that's another
I'm
story.
sorry.
We'll
Listen,
talk about that
after
later.
last week's solo, like what we're talking about last week's performance, that solo with the black sheet or garbage bag, I
Yeah.
don't know.
Well,
what
let's
it
talk
was.
about that. So Asia was the Wicked Witch
I
of the
just,
West.
I want to stand
Yes.
up and cheer.
I
I was
did
watching
love that
last
dance.
week.
Didn't you?
Oh, I did actually. Like I did. I had to get out of bed. I stood up and I cheered because I was with you. Where I was a little bit like, okay, her technique is not really up to par. How much further can she go? I saw that routine last week, and I was like, you know what? She could win the whole thing. I'm
I
sorry,
will
like
say-
that walk and her technique looked flawless in that number.
I did love that number. I love Asia's expressions when she's either supposed to be super mad and fierce or super emotional and sad and longing for something. When she's doing the smiling thing, when she's trying to do the sexy thing, then I'm kind of like, whoa, I'm kind of freaked out by her facial expressions, and I feel like she's not connecting. She's just doing crazy cheerleader pageant faces.
Okay.
But I thought the Wicked Witch routine was incredible. We actually watched it again before this show, even though we watched the other episode tonight, and it was
and her technique, her leg. I mean, to Abby,
the concept. Go ahead.
You could say for Abby, like her feet were pointed, her knees were straight.
There's no sickles.
There was no sickles. There was no hip lifting. You know, she was on.
Yeah.
And and then the face. I mean, really, people in the audience in the real world of dance are gonna watch your face. I mean, it's about the face. And I mean, Abby is all about the technique, which is great, and then that's important if you want to be in a ballet company or something like that. But in the real commercial world, it's your face, and that's why I think. My point is that's why Asia deserves to still be here, because like she will be a booker, like she will book work.
Well, and also, I mean, nowadays you don't necessarily see huge jobs that are looking for a specific technique.
No.
You know, it's
like where they're like ballet. Never.
Yeah, never.
Know?
It's
or
contemporary.
rarely.
It's hip hop. It's whatever specific
Very
style.
commercial.
Yeah, thank you. I was looking for the word and I couldn't figure out what it
commercial.
was. We had Hadley do a Tinkerbell routine, a jazz routine. And we thought that this was going to be her time to really sparkle and shine. Actually, she did sparkle. She threw pixie dust at the judges.
Pixie dust? Fitting.
She did. And Yvette was so excited for her. Abby seemed to like it. She said that the pixie dust worked. And yet, she was in the bottom 2 again.
I mean, I really like Hadley, but I thought her time passed before last week.
I definitely did feel Hadley was one of my favorites, and obviously we all know I have a special little love to stick up for Yvette. Over the last couple of weeks I have been Team Yvette, but I agree with you. You know, I've seen some of the other girls improve a lot more than she had, and I think she was kind of reaching a point to where she could either break through or break down, and she was really starting to break down. She got very emotional, which was hard to watch, and I'm sure it was even harder for Yvette to watch because Yvette was trying to hold a front for her daughter, and here's both of them crying in the confessional. So that was tough.
Well, because I'm sure she took it as a defeat for herself too.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I mean, which it's not. It's not. But.
Well, she was in the bottom 2 weeks prior, and they were really stuck on that roadkill comment.
Oh yeah.
Right. She lost it, and she said, "You call my daughter." That's what happened. I mean, and again, a Robin moment, a random Robin moment. Or Abby, where they just out of nowhere, it was roadkill. That was roadkill. It was just like random, but it was the way she said it was just so scathing.
Yeah.
It was just like disgust.
I think it definitely
You
knocked
are
her confidence.
Yeah.
It definitely shook her.
She's like, "I'm not pretty? What?"
You know, one of the things that I really love about our show is that we have had some of the dancers and the moms call in each week, and we might actually be having Karine and Yvette call in tonight. Who knows? They are on a different time zone. It's a little past their bedtime.
Yeah, it's late there.
But I feel that because we've had conversations with some of these moms, that these are almost our babies.
Yeah.
So whenever Abby or Robin or if they're ever saying anything bad, it's like, well, hold on a second. She was practicing so hard.
Well, and that's the thing, though. I don't think these judges aren't along for the ride. I mean, Abby gets to see them in the beginning for the first.
But Richie and Robin.
Right. They show up just to judge what they're saying.
Ready to
Just
go.
to judge
Exactly.
You know, so it's kind of unfair. Some of the comments.
Well, do you think it's unfair or?
It's
Is it
objective.
reality?
Well,
I mean, it's not like you go to an audition and people are like, "Oh, well, I saw you rehearsing all week and in class." No one cares.
Right.
It's what you do when you're in
right
there.
there, that moment.
Yeah.
That's what matters.
Yeah.
Welcome to the real world.
And if you give face,
Exactly.
you can be a crappy dancer, but if that face is on
you could
point,
be fall on your
you
face,
are a
but if the
booker.
face is on point.
I mean, that face better be so sickening, fierce, ferocious, despising, and everything.
Is that why you book so many jobs?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a horrible dancer, but this face is like
Yeah.
fierce.
And of course,
You know, the body. Listen, if you're an African American male in Los Angeles, if you have a hot body and a cute face, you can go far. I'm writing a book. It'll be out in September. It's called How to Be a Hot Black Man. No, just kidding. I'll get flamed online for that one. I'm joking, friends. Don't quote me.
Marissa, would you buy the book?
Yeah, sure.
I mean,
Sounds interesting.
I
there
don't believe
Riz.
you.
She
I don't
would.
believe
She
you.
would. I mean, it's every guy's guide to how to make it and be hot, sexy, and black in LA.
Well, as long as we put it on Amazon.com.
Right. And you can download it on iTunes.
Do you guys think that Abby was being especially hard on Hadley because of the whole, maneuver with choosing people that Yvette and her kind of pulled a couple weeks ago? Because, I mean, the judges are really disconnected. So that was really only something that could have signified what was going on behind the scenes. So do you think the way that Abby was critiquing Hadley had to do with the way that she was maybe feeling about Yvette?
I would hope not.
No,
my answer.
it shouldn't have anything to do with that, but who knows?
However, it probably could have, and more than likely, there was probably a tinge or a smidgen of that in her. I mean, you forget, but you don't forget.
Well, and also,
Right.
if you do watch Dance Moms, for example, Abby's whole pyramid thing doesn't have to do with just her dancer skill or the way that her dancers do on the performances. It has to do with their moms.
Yeah.
And they have brought the moms into this show to be very, very involved. Every decision involves the student and the mom. And so...
I mean, shoot, they're practically on stage with them while they're doing their
They
solos.
really
their
are.
Performances.
And, I know, I need some water.
They should have a dad. I would love
like,
to see
what?
a dad.
Dance dads?
A dance, no, or just a dad.
And production they should have. Like, why
Right.
can't they have a dance
sit
dad?
at the table with the moms and cry and go through it with them too. That's my son.
And be like, what? What?
You know what?
Start-
If the dads were there, I think the moms would be in a lot better moods. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if the dad was a
It
looker,
depends.
if the dad was a
Depends.
looker,
That could be the problem.
they're
Sorry.
Somebody needs to get a little...
Ah!
I'm just saying. Okay, so Jordan had a Cinderella routine. It was contemporary, but it was not your typical Cinderella. It was like an angry Cinderella. This was not how my life was supposed to be. It was phenomenal. I loved it. I thought it was great.
I'm really liking Jordan.
I
Yeah.
do too. She's so beautiful.
And
She's
every week she's
beautiful.
great. I mean, she slayed the hip hop routine. Everything that's thrown at her, she really excels
She's
at.
like
I
one of the
think.
most versatile.
Versatile, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what the contest is all about.
She has the
being a
body,
versatile
she has the
dancer.
attitude, she has the face, she
I
has
mean,
the I mean, I think she's very well rounded.
In
I
And
think
spite of
this
abusive
week-
mom. I mean, in spite of.
I thought this week her technique looked even better than Madison.
I did too.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I don't know about
yes.
better than Madison. I was gonna say better than Asia.
Well, I mean, age is half her age.
Y'all can't keep using that.
Richie,
Asia's got to get it together.
But she's holding her own there.
She is holding her own, but she still
More
has
than
to get
holding
it
her
together.
own. After that Wicked Witch solo, I'm sorry, she can do whatever she wants.
But you know
Do
what?
whatever she wants.
After that performance, she has to move on. And this week, when we get to it, she needs to step it up if
And
she's going to be continuing.
and it's Abby's ultimate dance competition. It's not Richie's ultimate dance competition. And Abby's all about the technique. Richie's about the star. Robin's about the pussycat doll.
We love you, Robin. But keeping it real.
But it is. She says that. She even said that to Madison. She goes, 5 years from now when you audition for me, I'm going to hire you.
There you go.
So, and then one thing that I noticed was that Kelly mentioned something about Jordan during the group dance challenge. She said, it took me blowing a gasket yesterday for me to get that to her, to improve, to fix some things. Notice that she said yesterday. She didn't say last week.
Oh wow.
So, proof that this is really just a day-by-day type
Right.
of a thing.
Like back
Yeah.
to back.
Exactly. And so I think to see Jordan improve that much in just days versus some of these dancers who we have not seen change at all,
Mhm.
I'm very surprised with the way that, things end up going in the next episode. Brianna, I always, Brianna.
Brianna.
They say it differently, but Little Red Riding Hood / Angry Wolf jazz funk number. I wasn't crazy about it. I thought she was great. She's always technically wonderful, but I feel like she goes from having super intense facial expressions to all of a sudden it's like blank.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry. After Asia, I can't. There was no. I felt
There's
like
no
after
comparison.
like everyone could have went home for me, and I would have been fine with her winning last week after that solo alone. So no matter how good everyone else did, they still last week Asia set the bar really high. Let's just
Yeah.
say that. But yeah, Brianna could definitely. I mean, I think her technique is flawless. She's beautiful, but
She
she's
is.
a little blank, like you said.
Sometimes
she's not
as
emoting as
connected.
much as like.
Why do you
Asia.
guys think that is? Why do you think that these dancers aren't connecting? Do you think that it could be stress? Do you think that they're really not? That's not a talent that they possess, or they're not? That has not been indoctrinated in them.
Well,
as
like
dancers?
growing up in like the competition dance world, it's kind of like more how Abby's running everything. Like get your leg up, get your turns out, it doesn't matter how you get it there, just get it there and look good. So I feel like your face and performance kind of takes a back seat sometimes.
It's like too much going on, right?
No, but I think you're either a natural performer or you have to somewhat learn it. Like you're all about Asia because she just has that performer
That
quality.
spark, yeah.
You'll let everything slide with Asia because she's a performer. But when you don't like when you have Amanda, beautiful dancer, but the facial expressions are not there. That quality of a performer is just, if she just had that, everything would connect.
Also, I think part of it has to do with the fact that a lot of these girls, you know, they're the best in their class. They're winning their first place trophies in whatever cities that they live in, and they're able to get by without necessarily having to work on that kind of a thing. Because you hear Amanda, she's a Latin dance champion, and she's got the body, like, got the moves down pat perfectly, but like the face is pretty much the same the whole time.
Except for
Just
the
not
eyebrow.
there. Oh, that
She does give a
that
fierce
eyebrow-
little
That eyebrow's so fierce, man.
I'm so mad that I can't
Dr.
do that.
Evil
I can only
got
do my
jacked.
left side.
Dr. Evil got
My
jacked
right
on her
only
eyebrow.
pops up when I'm really excited, but my left eye, my left eye can control.
I mean, she has the eyebrows like it's almost like her eyes closed because the other eyelid's just like it's I don't know, it's like Mount Kilimanjaro in her face.
Did you notice, since you are into the little aesthetic details, did you notice that Brianna might have forgotten her razor at home this episode?
They're little kid. Maybe she's not shaving her legs yet. She's only 12.
Is she supposed to
Maybe
be?
she's like a
I
hippie
mean,
and doesn't
yeah.
want to be. Maybe
That-
she likes the hair.
She's all
I don't know.
natural.
She's going
It-
through the change
She's
right
from
before
Silver
our eyes.
Lake.
If you're not going to wear the pantyhose... No, she's not. Is she really?
I'm just saying.
No, she's not.
It's just
She-
like,
Even if she is, like, what is that?
Well, but she's a hipster,
Like
she's natural.
hippie, yeah.
No deodorant, that's how people roll these days.
hey, to
Yeah,
each their
I
own,
don't
right?
think
Not
so.
We're so bad.
All I'm saying, if you're gonna be on TV, if
Shave
you're gonna
your
wear
legs.
those short shorts without the pantyhose or without the
And that's
tights,
something that the mom is there screaming about their sickled feet and their left pirouettes. Like, tell your daughter to like, not be. I don't know.
It's a nair.
I'm
something.
saying because he's someone who's always into aesthetics, I always like to focus on the dance and the choreography, but
But, however, this week or last week,
it's just something that I noticed.
Well, let's hope that after she sees the show, that we'll have a clean palette on her legs in the coming shows.
but yeah, I blame her
Bless
mom for that. I
Yeah.
don't blame her. She's too young to know.
Well, I mean, yeah, she's
Right?
young.
She's like 12,
No,
13.
Yeah.
not Giselle.
Well, maybe she is too young.
Yes.
That's why her mom is there to
She's
tell her
going
these
through the
things.
change.
Right? Like,
What,
women,
menopause?
don't you have your mom
I
tell
I
you,
started
like,
waxing my eyebrows when I was like 9 or 10.
But you're
when did you start
but
shaving
you're
your
a special.
legs?
You're not human though.
I
Giselle.
started
Giselle.
stealing razors at like first grade
But
level.
Giselle, you're like.
I wasn't allowed
stealing
to, but I would.
razors.
Yeah,
like
because I wasn't
pageant.
allowed to.
But you seem like the girly girl. You probably at the age of 2 started wearing high heels
At
rather
birth.
than sneakers.
did.
See?
Yes.
You instead of sprinting in stilettos, your mom gave birth to you in stilettos.
It's true.
Yeah, that kind of felt good for her.
Wait, are those Jimmy Choo's?
No, come on now.
I feel like they're
All
Louis
right,
Vuitton.
maybe.
Like,
But they were on
really?
sale.
Whatever.
Okay, well, in the end, unfortunately, we end up saying goodbye to Hadley.
Aww.
It was hard. She and Asia were in the bottom 2
Poor Asia. Why is she always getting kicked in the bottom two, especially after a performance
because
like that?
she's not improved. Oh, okay, that's true. Wait, what was Asia in the bottom 2 for that one?
Last week,
Yeah, she was.
she was.
I agree with you.
I don't think she should.
Now that I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, what? I know it seems like forever ago. I have turkey brain still.
But it's still like, even though Asia is young and she did have a killer, solo last week, but she has the performance quality, yes. But I still think she needs to work on the technique.
Absolutely, but think about the fact that these girls are 6 years older. So I'm sure in 6 years,
Asia's
the
gonna be
technique
unstoppable.
But
will surpass where they are now.
But we are right now at Abby's ultimate dance competition. We don't have 6 years for Asia to finally catch
Well,
up.
then what are these other girls gonna do with their faces?
I don't know.
Why are we? I say.
All
Asia-
good arguments.
Oh, are you
Look.
coming for me?
I think you're coming for me.
You guys, girls. Asia. Asia, for her technique. Okay, first of all these dancers on the show, let's just get one thing straight, are exquisite.
Yeah,
all
they
this
are.
sickled feet, pointed toes, all this stuff that Abby just randomly throws out really is irrelevant because they turn out amazing performances week after week. We say
They
time and
do.
time again, they're only as good as the choreography they're given. They're robots. They're told to jump. They ask how high.
Yeah.
Asia is stellar. For being 2 years old, she's holding her own like a grown woman.
Beyond.
You know what I mean? She's a freak of nature.
She
so,
is.
I
I
mean,
give her that.
And
she's gonna like. I'm sure she's already working.
And also,
Should
in
be,
a
yeah.
matter of days, I mean, improving. I'm sure what we're seeing is probably there's so much more going on that we're not seeing, and also other choreography that we're not getting to feast our eyes on as well. So I'm sure they have improved, but we're being shown that they're setting up stories. They have to.
Yeah.
Who would,
Of course.
if everyone was perfect every week, we wouldn't be watching. It would be like
Of
watching
course.
So You Think You Can Dance, featuring Abby Miller, what's his face, and what's her face. You know what I'm saying?
I will say though that of
Richie
all
and
of
Robin.
the
You know.
of all of the competitions that we have watched for this particular show, I think this was the hardest to pick someone to leave, because in the past we have seen crappy choreography or someone that really just did not totally missed the mark, and I think this had to have been one of the hardest deliberations for the judges, because I really felt like everybody did do a wonderful job. So I'm so sorry, Hadley. We adore you. Yvette, we love you. We know that you will go far, and
Yes, of
and we
course.
appreciate
Super
you guys
talented.
always watching this show. Hadley tweeted me over the holiday. She says that she's watched all of our shows
Awesome.
twice now.
Oh, wow.
She loves it so much, and so, thank you so much for your support.
Big ups to
and,
Hadley.
Big
Yes,
ups
we
to
love
Hadley.
you,
Holla.
Hadley.
And these girls are these dancers are the creme de la creme. They're the cream of the crop, you know. So for even if they don't, it's like American Idol. Jennifer Hudson didn't win American Idol. Girl has an Oscar now. Sorry, Beyonce. Girl has an Oscar now. So it's just just because you don't win doesn't mean that you don't have
A lot of the times with those shows, the people that don't win
go
go
on
further.
than
Yeah.
the person who win. What's his face?
Yes.
Clay
and
Aiken.
Okay. Taylor Hitch or
Taylor
Hicks.
No.
Did she
He
win?
won.
He won.
Oh.
But I mean,
we
have we
haven't
ever
seen
heard of
him.
Scott
Did
McCreery?
Carrie Underwood win?
Yes.
Oh.
Catherine
country.
McPhee.
Yeah, right. I mean, country.
Oh, Catherine McPhee,
Catherine
who's on
McPhee.
Smash.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
that's
Catherine.
right.
Yes.
But she
Cox-
did. She took a little bit, but she's now
It's
back.
okay. I mean, it happens.
she's
It
a
happens.
star.
It's supposed to
Yeah.
happen.
Blossoms.
Hadley, we will be seeing her in a lot of
Yes.
music videos. I mean,
Don't
On
just put her
Broadway.
there.
on Broadway.
We'll put her on Broadway.
Actually, you know what? I think we're going to be seeing them on Dance Moms.
Ooh,
I
that'd be awesome.
really, really do.
That'd
do,
be really
do you think so?
interesting.
I think so. I can't confirm it, but
Does she live there?
well,
Like,
it doesn't
near there?
matter because they go to competitions all over the country.
Oh, you're saying like
Oh,
again.
I see what you
okay.
mean.
Yeah, like because she has her own studio. But I think we'll see them somehow involved in Dance Moms in
I would
some
love
way.
to see Yvette and someone go at it.
Oh my, I would love it.
Sorry.
I think the Candy Apples would be so jealous of her.
Oh my God, candy apples. Oh.
Candy
Can't-
apple.
All
I
right, well,
can't. I
Let's
can't with
move
them.
on to the next episode because we are definitely going over time talking about what we were supposed to just skim over. But before I do, just want to remind you guys of our Amazon affiliate program. If you have anything that you're shopping for, whether it be the holidays or some extended Cyber Monday sales, make sure that you stop by AfterBuzzTV.com one of these days. Click on the affiliate banner at the top. It takes just a couple seconds, and what happens is we get a little kickback. It keeps the lights on. It keeps our shows free. And, of course, don't forget to leave your comments, suggestions on iTunes and YouTube. If you don't think we deserve 5 stars, before you rate us, let us know why not, and then give us 5 when we fix whatever we need to fix, which
We
hopefully
work on
isn't
our
much.
technique.
Yeah,
We're
work on
more sickle feet.
work
No
on
more
our
sickle
technique.
feed here.
All right, let's move on to Bend It Like Abby. We have our
That was the
top.
title.
What? It is.
I know. I didn't realize that was the title.
I don't know how far Abby
Abby
can
can
bend.
bend it. I know.
Hey, you'd probably be
But-
surprised.
But the theme of the group challenge is flexibility, and she says that
Yes.
it's not just about literal flexibility, it's also about being open-minded to, for example, different cultures and blah, 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 blah,
Okay,
blah.
let me just vent for a second
Go
because
ahead,
the
Chris.
whole
Please.
like culture thing, like let's do like authentic Latin, let's do authentic Bollywood. None of it was authentic. I thought all the choreographers
Yes.
did incredible jobs, but it wasn't authentic.
It was a
so
makeup
it
and a
was like
costume.
what 5 jazz or like jazzy lyrical solos with a themed costume,
Yeah.
which is kind of every week. I don't know. I thought that if you're gonna really do like on So You Think when they do Bollywood,
They really do Bollywood.
Bollywood.
Yeah.
when they do Latin, like ballroom, they do ballroom, like a samba or a mambo,
Right.
not just
A couple cha-chas.
a jazz solo, you know,
Right.
which is
Yeah.
fine. Like I love me a jazz lyrical, jazz funk.
But you
like-
want, you know.
But call it what it
It
is.
is.
but call
Yeah.
it what it is, yeah. Like say we're gonna do themed, but don't. I don't know.
It's basically like we're gonna do an African jazz funk routine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like,
Again.
Exactly.
wade in the
Well,
water.
they end up. They have. Come on now. They do a Harajuku dance for the group challenge, and Brianna
Which was
ends up
hot.
winning. I loved it, but
Yes,
personally,
Gina.
I thought Madison and Jordan were the standouts for that one.
I did too.
In terms of most well-roundedness, yes, okay. I do think that Brianna and Amanda had a little bit of a better literal flexibility and isolations. But in terms of having the total package, I
But
thought
their
Jordan and
legs.
Madison were the best.
Amanda and Brianna's legs, like that calypso, they're like kicking their head off.
And then she had the back extension, which is impressive. I get it.
And of
but
course, during this little mini challenge, it showed Asia's little age as she could not keep up
she could
with
not
them.
keep
She
up.
kept
Yet
falling
again,
behind.
though.
Don't
Yet
give me
again.
that eye. You saw that she was not with them.
She
just
was
kept
a beat
looking
behind,
everyone
but
up.
at the end of the day, she always pulls it off.
Right.
You know, like
she was
she.
at that part.
Sometimes people need extra time. You know, and I don't think she's even graduated from first grade.
In the real
like,
world, though,
Look.
Cris Cangero, you were just saying, in the real world, it's reality. You don't get extra time. You learn it. You go hard
Yeah.
or go home.
but then she would be there with that face.
Oh, the face would save her. The face would be her
The face
saving
would
grace.
save
The
her, and
face
then
would
you would
save her, but
never
not
be
today.
at an audition where they would be like, "Let's all do right
It's
splits."
a little different, though, when you're seeing it for the first time versus when you see it over and over and over and over again. And when you see it next to someone else. Because, I mean, yeah, okay, her face still does stand out next to someone else, but I think when you're looking for the total package, and if you are looking for technique, you have to look at more than just the face.
Of course, and
So-
she was. I mean, she was behind.
And
She
Abby
was.
did,
I mean,
yeah,
it's not that
plain and simple.
I'm not arguing that.
It was
point.
obvious.
I'm just saying, it was very obvious. I
It
mean,
was
she was like
extremely
3
obvious.
steps behind.
She
Yeah.
was.
But again, they obviously put her on the show, being significantly younger than everyone.
That's
She was
true.
the only one that young,
She's true.
True.
so they knew what they were
I mean, I
doing.
get it. She's holding her own for the most part, but she's gonna have to get it together.
Well, let's talk about the
I
dances.
agree.
So Brianna ends up choosing to do an African dance.
I'm
Um,
sorry.
African or Armenian?
Was that
or
was that African?
Yo,
Because
was
I
that-
wrote lyrical.
It was too many
lyrical.
things.
It was.
Well, the whole.
I can tell you what it wasn't.
it wasn't
African.
African.
I didn't
Let's
see any like.
let's start off with we'll go in order of the dances for the competition, and then that way, oh, and actually, before we get to the dances, I just want to say I loved how there was really no drama in this episode.
No.
They
No.
are
Well,
focusing more on the
Christy was
dances.
starting
There was the one
to stir the pot a little.
Oh
Asia
yes.
was particularly driven because of the fact that she said that she overheard Madison saying, "Why is she still here? Hadley should still be here."
And
Something
see, I
along
don't like
those lines.
that. Madison, I love you, but don't be like that.
I got a tweet from Kareen though, and she said that this episode was a project of incredible editing.
Oh wow.
Mm.
And I watched it another time around, and I did sort of see how when the moms were discussing things, that the reactions or the commentary definitely could have been jumbled together, and that's something that they give their consent to do. They're allowed to be put into situations that they might not be aware of, or edited into situations
That's
that
gotta
are
be
not
hard, because
serious.
then you would never react to anything.
Who
Maybe
knows?
that's why Yvette was always like, uh-huh,
Well,
uh-huh.
yeah,
So
and
she's
that's,
like, I was smiling and nodding. Always. I'm always smiling and nodding.
yeah. So
But that's really got to be difficult, because then any reaction to anything throughout the whole filming is like subject to be used
yeah.
to any kind of
Right.
editing
Yeah, exactly.
tricks.
Okay, so starting off, Amanda, she has a Latin routine, which is totally not fair because she is a Latin champion.
And it was amazing, mind-blowingly amazing.
Until
Except
you
for-
got to her face.
Until the eyebrow. And I swear the eyebrow was deeper this week, you guys.
It was deeper. It was.
The
it was,
eyebrow
and it
doesn't
was
bother
more
me.
noticeable.
I know. I think she was working her face. It's getting a little like Zoolandery, like one look.
Well, still
Yeah,
One look.
tiger.
exactly.
look.
She's letting, like, the reason why she looks so fierce is because of the makeup and the hair and the costume and then the body. But it's like, we need to put Asia's face on her body.
go.
And then,
But she was hitting it hard, and her
She was.
intensity was hot. Like the choreo, I love that. All around great.
poor girl had lipstick on her teeth, all over her teeth.
What I like about Amanda, watching her every weekend tonight, is that she is, even though her face isn't that bad. We're being hypercritical over things because we're really versed in the show, but
Well, it's because we've seen it so many
Right.
times.
the way
The- her- the same
Amanda's
face?
body, she's what, 13 years old, 12
It's
years old.
incredible.
Her body looks, and everything she does nothing she does is inappropriate. It's always like it's so effortless and so right. And tonight, seeing Amanda Samba, like we got a taste of Amanda doing a little bit of samba a couple weeks ago, and tonight actually seeing in full swing. I mean, she was hitting things hard, and it wasn't over the
Super
top,
hard.
super
Yeah.
hard. But at the same time, it was acceptable. It was like, all right, Amanda, you better own this. It was a 10. I thought tonight was probably
I
the best.
agree, and I
performance
think
I've
it
seen.
was the most like owning a routine
Right.
we've seen from her.
But it was in her
True.
comfort zone. She's like, I got this.
Exactly.
You know? She's
Right.
like, whatever. This is.
And because of that, I expected more.
Yeah.
And then the mom,
I
Amanda's
thought she
mom.
delivered. I said she delivered.
She delivered moves wise, but the face is just not connecting.
But it wasn't blank.
It wasn't
Well,
blank, but
it was
also
Magnum slash
It
Blue
was
Steel
Yeah.
Steel.
slash what's the other
A
one?
couple times it was blank. Well, let's go on the opposite side of the spectrum. Asia did a quote French dance that was Moulin Rouge inspired.
So a jazz solo.
yeah.
It was very jazz funky.
Yeah.
I thought she could have been stronger. Like, Asia, I love you, but after seeing you, like, oh, murder it last week, this week, I was like,
I just don't see her as well rounded. That's my problem. And I feel like the person that wins needs to be the most well rounded, whether it's facial expression, technique, flexibility, the face, the body. And I feel like she doesn't really do as well when she has to show an array of
Versatility.
emotions. She's not smooth.
I don't see anyone, though, coming anywhere near Asia in
But
performance quality.
Performance quality, yes. Like she shows up. Like she gives you. She's a joy to watch. She executes. But you're right, Giselle. I agree with you because I would love to see Asia go out there and do a soft piece that requires her not to be cute and girly in your face and fierce, you know, and actually show you some.
She could do it because she did really well for the bullying group dance challenge.
And she's so beautiful.
It's something in the
you know.
her smile scares me. I'm sorry.
But when she's like that longing face,
the
that's
puppy
like-
eyes.
Yeah,
It's the eyes though. It's not
she
the
is
this.
like a little puppy dog.
You're
And
right,
but Asia, the reason why Asia hasn't been able to give us that texture of movement or that texture of performance is because she hasn't evolved that herself as a person, you know, mentally.
She doesn't know
Yeah.
about
Doesn't
that.
Yeah, like first grade,
It's
you guys,
true.
maybe second.
Right.
She
She's
doesn't even
still-
know long
No,
division.
We're
Like,
right.
I mean,
We're
she can't
right.
even write cursive.
No, it's like
you
third
said long
grade.
division. I love you.
But that's nice. That's why I really, really love Madison and Jordan because I feel like, okay, yes, they do have their weaknesses, but they, to me, are the most well-rounded. Or maybe
Sure.
I just think that they're just
Jordan for
so
sure.
beautiful. But
Jordan for sure is well-rounded for sure.
Madison does a Bollywood routine, which, she's injured. I could see some of her faults. She wasn't as smooth as she usually is. Her turns in her alsacone, her leg was
It was
flopping a
little
little bit,
sloppy,
and normally
but
her
she's
turns are
injured.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, turning's her thing.
I felt like that too. That, like Chris just said, there was. I'm all about Madison. I love Madison, but this routine seemed a little sloppy to me, and also not very Bollywood. I mean,
that's
her
it,
disco
yeah.
was her piece de resistance. You know, a couple weeks ago.
Her what?
You know, I'm French.
Her
like,
piece de
Yeah.
resistance.
Okay.
I heard.
I'm French.
I heard that today, and it was really, really cool. So I thought I'd use it. See, you learn something new every day. But her disco.
Is that what's written on
Yeah.
your hand over there?
No. No.
Come on,
It's like
guys.
all day.
Her body, her costume was amazing.
And I thought
Yes.
her face was like working it the most I've seen her work it
Yeah.
this week.
My
ever.
my winged eyeliner was inspired by Madison this week.
Yes, winged
I like
eyeliner.
Hey. What?
Said yes, winged
Yes,
eyeliner.
winged eyeliner. Brianna did an African dance, which was breathtaking. She really dug into her roots. She had this Armenian, I guess, connection to this African dance.
This Chinese, Armenian, African.
This lyrical dance that she did. That was not African.
Okay, Tony, go ahead. Start. I'll let you go in on this one.
I
But
just
make
feel
it quick.
I just feel like this. Like I was expecting, typical African movement, and I got the long skirt, the flailing around.
Like
I mean,
Ailey.
yeah, yes, very Alvin Ailey.
Which is
but
like Horton modern.
yeah,
Yeah.
very. I was like,
More slavery than African.
yeah.
What?
I saw better African in the
I'm
Book of Mormon.
talking about like American,
True.
like African
right?
American history, Civil War type of dance
It
versus
was more
like
just
a
like
tribal.
competition lyrical.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
But-
fair.
You know?
That's
But
true.
if you're a like So You Think You Can Dance, and you're introducing these dance styles to people, your first thought is when you think African and when you think Latin and Bollywood, you
the
have a
intense
certain
or
image.
the stereotypical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when they presented it tonight, it was just kind of like,
All right.
huh?
Yeah.
That ain't African.
And then when she was like, what did she say? She said something about how
She related it
it
to her
lifted her
heritage. I was like,
I thought it was funny that she said that in front of the audience and the judges because they didn't know that she related
Right.
it to Armenian.
That's what
She said.
Where she was like, when was
red
she
hair.
ever black?
I backed up. I was like,
And then
now
she's
wait a
so
minute.
white with her red hair.
Right.
You know, like,
You
And
got
then-
some explaining to do.
and then we had Jordan with her Asian solo, which okay,
Jordan,
I don't
I
care.
think Jordan
thought that
slayed.
was amazing.
It
She
was
was
amazing.
good.
And
she
she had
gets
a
solo-
sword.
solo
She had
of
a
the week.
sword.
And
she
wind.
spun it.
Yeah.
Jordan's sickening.
It was very Kill Bill for me.
Very Kill Bill.
I loved it. I thought it
It was
took the
great.
most athleticism. She was doing flips and kicks and
A
going all the way down
lot
to the
of
ground.
tumbling.
And there were times when, okay, it wasn't as fluid, but for what she was given, like, she was this
And
samurai.
people want to. I feel like they want to harp on her technique a little because she is such a strong hip hopper. But she was great. She was
killed
incredible.
it.
She had the wind machine.
The
in
wind.
her hair.
I mean, it was like.
She got a,
Jordan
she got a
killed
double
it.
finger wave from Richie.
She did.
Yeah, I
And
give
yet
it
she was
to-
in the bottom two.
See,
I
that's
thought
what I'm like. What's going on here?
Sabotage.
I thought
Setup.
Amanda and Asia should have been in the bottom two. I'm
Word.
sorry.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing, the exact same thing over and over and over
I
again.
agree with
Asia's
that.
been in the bottom two before, and yet here are Jordan and Asia, and Abby has them do this stretch off thing.
No, not the stretch off. Flexibility test.
Whatever. Stretch off.
I'm sorry. It
Stupid.
was stupid. I didn't want to say that, but it's stupid. Like,
Yeah,
that's what I
it
saw.
was-
'cause
it
it's
was
like,
awkward.
What is that proving? You could do a right split. You could do a left split. Doesn't make you a better performer. Doesn't mean you
No.
could use like people could be flexible and not know how to use the flexibility. So you
Yeah.
could pull your leg all here, and then maybe you can't kick it that high.
I feel
but
li-
you got to use it. I
I
don't know.
feel like it
and
was
Jordan
a.
was obviously more flexible.
Until
She
pulled that
was
muscle.
until she pulled a muscle.
It was a cramp.
It was a pulled
But I-
muscle.
I think she
Do
pulled
you
it.
think that's why she was eliminated?
Probably Abby.
Because Abby knew, okay, this girl's injured, so she's going to be gone anyway?
I
don't
kind of
think so.
feel like the whole flexibility test was a setup to maybe keep Asia around again because clearly
'Cause
Jordan.
she's got that back.
Yeah, clearly Jordan was killing it, and then all of a sudden she pulled that muscle, and it went all downhill. And they were like, "Okay, great, now we have our reason to be like, bye, Jordan. Hello, Asia. We gonna keep you again."
And if it was any of the other three girls, they would have all had their legs like
Yeah.
backstage because they would have been stretching them so far.
Yeah.
Literally,
Oh.
like all those girls are so flexible.
I love that Jordan did mention that she was like, "We haven't even stretched." I'm like, "Didn't you just?"
I'm like,
dance?
did you just do a solo? Yeah, that was weird. That
You
she
gotta
said that.
you gotta re-stretch again.
Yeah, that was weird.
That might have been a cut from before they started dancing. They put that in the flexibility thing because they needed a filler.
Maybe,
Ah.
but I
thank
don't
you,
know.
Yeah, I just feel like
Maybe it's
Ah.
just cold backstage.
the stretch test was awkward. It's like,
And like have them dance off. Like
Right.
there's a
Yeah.
dance competition, not a left split
there you
competition.
go. It's just
you
around,
know?
like they're like going into the splits slow on the floor. Just lame. And
Don't touch the ground.
in front of an audience.
Okay.
In front of an audience.
So awkward. I
Yeah.
felt uncomfortable.
I
It
did
was
too, and
weird.
you could hear a pin drop during the whole thing. Like everyone was like, it's one of those things where it's like, is this happening?
Yeah.
Like,
And that's how we all felt watching
yeah,
it.
it's kind of like, what's going on?
Like just dance off. I think they're just trying to do too much. Like this week we're gonna do this and this, and then this is how we're gonna decide. Like,
Yeah.
why don't we just have them dance off? It's a dance competition.
Dance
Make
for
'em-
your life.
Yeah, dance for
Yeah.
your life. What
I-
happened to that?
You know what? I kind of I feel like that. I feel like what they're doing is that they're trying something. Like I feel like with any competition show, when there's a bottom two, they have something that they have to do and it's consistent. Like RuPaul's Drag Race, they lip sync for their life. The for So You Think You Can Dance, they dance for their life and things like that. And with this show, it's kind of like, okay, we're gonna have you. What should we have him do? You know,
Splits,
it's like that
splits,
moment.
splits.
Split. Have them do split.
Well, we were, interestingly enough, our news and gossip was supposed to be that someone dug up an article, an interview, a local interview with Jordan, and that there was a hint that, you know, perhaps she was going to be in all different episodes, hinting that she was going to be either the final two or in the winner. But after this week, we find out that's not actually true.
Well, I don't think it was
So-
deserved that she went home.
I don't either,
No.
at all.
Just like
so,
Zach. Zach
who
should have
knows?
still been there.
Was action no one home either?
That could mean that maybe some of the old competitors come back for something, or maybe it was just someone reaching way too far and trying to overanalyze every little word. So let's go ahead and move on to predictions for next week.
And now, your AfterBuzz
Do the eye. Do the eye. Do the eye.
Yeah, bro.
Jason. All right, Jason, predictions, make it quick.
Okay. I predict that Asia sticks around. But she will be in the bottom two along with Amanda next week. And I do think that Amanda will be going home next week.
Oh, wow. I think Asia, yeah, I think she's going to fight. I think people are going to count her out, but she's going to keep pushing through, working that face.
I don't want that to happen, but I agree. I think Asia and Amanda will be in the bottom
She's
two.
not your favorite.
But Amanda's going to go home.
I have to agree. I think Amanda's going to go home, but I do think that the judges are now paying closer attention to Asia, and I feel like her time is coming very soon.
Yeah.
It will not be her day. For
I
much
will
longer.
say Chrissy's kind of growing on me. I liked the little kissing moment between her and Asia.
She's
this
super
week.
cute.
She was very
I love her.
That
Sweet.
ponytail is
She wasn't
still
trying to get her to be
Marcus.
catty. All right, guys, let everybody know where they can find you. Jason?
Hi, guys. You can find me on Twitter at JJCForever and on Facebook at the Jason J. Carter fan page.
You can find me on Twitter, Instagram at Cris Cangero. Same thing on Facebook, CRIS.
Yeah.
And you can find me on Twitter at Lounging with Tony or loungingwithtony.com.
And you can find me on Twitter at Giselle Ugarte. I'm Giselle Ugarte. Thank you so much for watching another recap of Abby's Ultimate Dance Competition. We will be back next week at the exact same time, 9 p.m. Pacific time, or you can download us on iTunes, find us on YouTube the following day, and we can't wait to see you then. Have a good night, everybody.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.